This superhero sequel has more cameos than you can shake a magic staff at, and a possible future for Shazam in James Gunn's DCU. This is the ending of Shazam: Fury of the Gods explained. One secret revealed early in Shazam: Fury of the Gods is that Rachel Zegler's Anthea is not in fact a cute, harmless teenage girl interested in the affections of Freddie Freeman, but is in fact the third daughter of Atlas. While Calypso works alongside her sisters for much of Fury of the Gods, she goes on her own to pursue the Golden Apple after it's stolen by Freddie, eager to set their plans of revenge in motion.
The daughters of Atlas are coming to hunt us.
When Mary Marvel attempts to fly away with it, Calypso chases after her on a dragon and eventually drains Mary of her power mid-air. Billy is forced to choose between grabbing the apple or saving Mary as both tumble toward the ground. He wisely chooses Mary, but this leads to Calypso snagging the apple for herself. After obtaining it, she plants it at Citizens Bank Park, where the Philadelphia Phillies play. The apple gives rise to the Tree of Life, which subsequently sprouts, spreads its roots far and wide, and bears some awful fruit. Small cocoons begin giving birth to various mythological creatures, from cyclopses and minotaurs to harpies and manticores. They soon begin roaming the streets and attacking citizens. Calypso's revenge plans swing into full force. After Calypso plants the apple and the tree unleashes chaos, Anthea and Hespera start to have second thoughts regarding their revenge plans. The sisters' only goal was to rebuild the realm of the gods, which was diminished when the wizard stripped its occupants of their powers. But seeing the Tree of Life ravaging Earth causes them to plead with Calypso to stop her plot. Calypso isn't interested in bargaining, though, and sees her sisters as disposable. As Hespera and Anthea confront their sister, Calypso's dragon stabs Hespera in the back. With Hespera on the ground dying, Calypso points the staff at Anthea, ready to drain her of her powers. But before Calypso unleashes its wrath, she taunts Anthea, declaring that it's a worthy fate given her love of humanity. Anthea tries in vain to stop the attack but fails and succumbs to the staff's power. With Hespera and Anthea out of the way, Calypso stands alone. The daughters of Atlas are decimated by betrayal, and one villain remains. It's a dark day in Philadelphia, with most of the Marvel family stripped of their powers and monsters wreaking havoc in the streets. Only Billy Batson is left to save the world. By this point, Calypso has proven her power and has Billy running scared. Batson returns to the wizard and begs the ancient being to take his powers back. In this bleak moment, Billy feels like he was the wrong choice to be the wizard's champion, and he can't bear the responsibilities that the powers of Shazam give him.
I can't do this. Take my powers back. You gave them to me so you would take them back, right?
But the wizard tells Billy that his choice was no accident. He knows that the young man's heart is pure, and although he has made mistakes, he is the champion. When Billy gave powers to his family to turn them into superpowered warriors, he proved that anyone can be a hero given the opportunity. It gives Billy the strength to form a plan to take back the staff and end Calypso's reign of terror. It even inspires the rest of his family to take action, even without their powers. Philadelphia is completely overrun with mythical monsters by the time Billy's siblings arrive, but without their powers, it doesn't seem like there's much they can do. However, the group asks their sentient pen, Steve, how to stop the monsters, and he points them in the direction of the King of the Beasts. What they discover is that the so-called king is a unicorn, which makes Darla absolutely giddy. The family then attempts to find unicorns in a dark cavern. However, they aren't brightly colored magical creatures bursting with happiness and rainbows. Instead, they're dark, angry beasts that resemble horned horses from hell. As they try to figure out what to do with the unicorns, one of them starts to charge toward Darla. Before it can attack, though, she's able to calm the creature with everyone's favorite taste of the rainbow, Skittles.
Good girl.
The sweet candies act as a modern ambrosia, the sweet nectar of the gods. With the unicorn on their side, it calls in reinforcements, and Billy's siblings are soon riding through town on the backs of mythical creatures, killing monsters along the way. While most of Billy's siblings hunt for unicorns, Freddie sees Anthea walking through a massive crowd and decides to follow her. Freddie catches up to the god just as Calypso and her dragon begin terrorizing civilians. During the attack, Calypso spots Anthea in the crowd and attempts to kill her. Anthea is almost defeated, but Freddie manages to comfort her and provide her with some much-needed confidence. Despite the morale boost, things look grim. Right at their moment of defeat, Billy arrives, thwarts Calypso's attack, and steals back the staff. The retrieval of the powerful weapon is the beginning of the end for Calypso. With staff in hand, Billy notices that it has begun to accumulate massive amounts of energy. He realizes that he can use the energy as a bomb, which could potentially destroy the tree and Calypso's dragon in one blast. All he has to do is lure the evil god and her pet back to the stadium. However, before he unleashes the power of the staff, he has to protect the innocent civilians who could be killed in the explosion. So he calls on the help of the dying Hespera. He begs her to use her powers to shrink the magical dome that has trapped him for so long down to a smaller size so it covers only the stadium. Trapped inside the dome, Billy knows that he might not survive when he unleashes the energy from the staff, but at least his family and everyone he loves will be safe.
Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
Everything is in place for Shazam's final battle. Before he takes the fight back to Calypso, he says goodbye to his family, knowing that he likely won't survive. His final conversation with Freddy proves why he was the perfect choice to be the champion. Though he's afraid, Billy is willing to make his ultimate sacrifice because he knows it's the right thing to do. He then puts his own spin on the all-or-none mentality that has always been a part of his family's heroics. It's a moment that bonds Freddy and Billy together forever and proves that the young man is a true hero.
Okay, I feel like maybe I should be writing all this down.
With little time to spare, Billy flies into the stadium to destroy Calypso once and for all. But this foe is more powerful than anything he's faced before. And this time, Billy is all alone. But with his courage and confidence returned, he knows he has the power to save the world. He even has time for one last superhero entrance. He emerges from a tunnel into the stadium with a display fit for a rock star. It's the perfect moment to begin the final confrontation. As Billy enters the stadium for his final showdown with Calypso, he charges the dome with lightning. The visual is a callback to the Tesla lamp that exploded in his room earlier in the movie, which is likely the inspiration for his final attack. In the charged dome, Shazam and Calypso brawl. The battle is fierce and thrilling, and eventually Billy detonates the staff. The explosion kills the tree, Calypso, her dragon, and himself. Billy makes the ultimate sacrifice to save his family. With Calypso defeated, the dome dissipates and his family rushes in to save him. But Billy's wounds are too severe. Freddy, in particular, is overwhelmed with emotion. The wizard is so moved by Billy's sacrifice that he declares that his champion is to be buried as a god. With Anthea's help, Billy's family is transported to the afterlife realm, and there the young hero receives a proper burial. Billy's tear-inducing funeral boasts a Shazam lightning bolt etched in the dirt on his gravesite, a somber family, and a sense of finality. It also doesn't last for long. The wizard is asked about the staff's power and if it could be restored. He says that only the spark of a god could restore the staff's power, and that's when some unexpected help arrives. While the Wonder Woman cameo had been spoiled by recent trailers, it doesn't make her appearance any less epic. Diana uses her power to resurrect Billy, who springs out of the ground like a zombie. Everyone hugs him moments later, but just as importantly, he gets to talk to Wonder Woman, who he has been crushing on throughout the film. Billy had dreams of them on dates in Paris, and now he gets to take his shot at asking her out. It goes about as well as you'd expect.
Stick to saving the world, kid.
It's fulfilling to see Shazam finally interact with other DC heroes in a meaningful way, and it's always a treat to see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman on the big screen. Now that the staff is fixed, everyone gets their powers back and is able to be a crime-fighting family again. Their next task is to help rebuild the family home that got destroyed when Calypso's dragon entered their world. Once their home is rebuilt, they can continue saving the world together. But they have a surprise visitor one night as they're eating dinner. It's the wizard, in essence Jaimin Honshu, now looking like his dapper self. Sporting a handsome modern look, he tells the family that he's there to take the staff and is going to start exploring the modern human world he's ignored for so long. Before he leaves, though, Billy asks him one important question. What is his superhero name? This has been a running joke/dilemma for Billy throughout the film, and at one point, 1970s Billy Batson actor Michael Gray even calls him by the character's former name, Captain Marvel. However, the wizard has a more fitting name for Billy, Shazam. Freddy insists they could still come up with something better. The first post-credit scene has Amelia Harcourt and Johnny Economos, two members of Amanda Waller's team, last seen in the Peacemaker TV series, walking through the woods delivering some funny banter to each other and saying that they have come on Waller's behalf. Turns out Shazam is being recruited for the Justice Society. It seems like the DCEU isn't ready to let Shazam be a part of the Justice League quite yet, but it's still an upgrade nevertheless. Billy is a little confused about it at first, but then suggests some fun alternative names for the JSA. Of course, it's tough to say where this plot thread is going, if anywhere, since James Gunn's re-envisioning of the DC universe is still being rolled out. The fact that characters created by Gunn are involved in the scene, however, suggests that all involved will be heard from again. The second post-credit scene is more a comical rehashing of the post-credit scene from the first film than anything that feels like a significant breadcrumb. But it is fun to once again see Mr. Mind, one of the more eccentric villains in the DC realm. In 2019, the conclusion of Shazam seemingly indicated that Mr. Mind and Dr. Sivana were hatching a plan that would likely form the crux of the sequel. Since neither are found in Fury of the Gods, the obvious question is, why? This time, Sivana is still rotting in jail. Once again, Mr. Mind shows up, telling him the master plan is nearly complete. Sivana grows angry, saying he's getting older. Mr. Mind responds that he can't do things very fast. After all, he is a caterpillar. All he can do is just slither from place to place. Instead of Mr. Mind giving any sort of glimpse into what he's planning, he tells Sivana he has one more thing to do, then slithers away again. Is this just a pointless catch-up scene with Mr. Mind and Sivana, or kicking the can down another couple years until it finally pays it off? If this thread continues in the new DCU, perhaps it could serve up a plot for a potential third Shazam movie, or even a Mr. Mind role as the big baddie of the Gods and Monsters chapter. After all, he does run the Monster Society of Evil in the comics. It's unclear what's next for Shazam, with the DC Extended Universe potentially being reset in the upcoming Flash movie. Fury of the Gods presents some potential storylines for Shazam's future, with his family's powers being back, Billy being recruited for the JSA, and Mr. Mind still being out there. But it's unclear where Shazam fits into James Gunn's plan, if he does at all. While it would be disappointing to see Zachary Levi and Asher Angel replaced after delivering two fun films that have made the characters a hit with wider audiences, both are getting older. It's tough to tell what's really in Shazam's future at the moment. It's no shock that sequel plans aren't confirmed yet because the DC films are in such a period of transition, but perhaps some solid box office could make the case for more. As with any good superhero story, there's always a chance the hero could rise again.